Hey guys, I just wanted to say, first off, I'm sorry for not being in class today, but I know you probably miss me so much, but now you get to hear my voice, so it's probably the best day ever. So you should have your notes done already. Now, if you don't, I just want you to go back and finish them now before you watch this video. So you were supposed to try number 2 on your own, writing a model that gives tuition Y in dollars after 1990. So the model means writing an equation, and then we're just going to use the general formula that we have to help us do that. So it pretty much should look the same. So it should look like y equals a times 1 plus r to the t power. And we just have to fill in the numbers. So the cost of tuition at a state university was $4,300. So that tells me A is $4,300. It started at $4,300. And then it said during the next 8 years, the tuition rose 4%. So now just know that this model, we're not going to fill in T yet. We're only going to fill in A and R. Because we want to have Y and T in our equations. So Y equals 4,300 times 1 plus 0.04 to the t power. And I got 0.04 because 4 divided by 100 is 0.04. And that's how we can always change from a percent to a decimal. And I know you might have wanted to plug in t for 8, but it's just telling you that this happened for 8 years. We didn't ask about after 8 years. It said after t years. So then, in what year will the tuition be slightly more than double? Okay, so again, that word double. Well, what's double 4,300? Well, that is 8,600. So that's my end product. I want to know how long it's going to take to get there. So like in what year? So I'm looking for t. So we need to go to y equals and type in my equations. My y1 is going to be the left side and y2 is going to be the right side. It doesn't matter which is which. We just got to get both equations in there. So I've got 4,300 times 1 plus 0.04 raised, and I'm going to just use x because that's the easiest one for me to get to. And then I'm going to go to my window. I'm going to make my x max like 25. And then my y max I know needs to be bigger than 8,600. So it really doesn't matter what you make it. I'm going to go up to 9,000. And I'm going to graph it and see what I see. So remember, you have to see the intersection point in the window of your calculator in order to go to second calc 5 to actually find it. So here I've got x equals 7.5, which is really like t equals. So it didn't want to know t, it wanted to know exactly in what year. And I made my model for years after 1990. So in some time in 1997, the tuition will double, right? Because 1990 plus 7.5 years is 1997.5. But we never say that. It's just sometime in 1997. Okay. So then we started really quickly to talk about compound interest. Now I want to talk about our other equation. It was y equals a times 1 plus r to the rt, or to the t power. But we said that it was an annual rate. So when it's annual, we divide by 1 and multiply by 1. And that's the same thing. We just got rid of the n because it was 1. Now it's not necessarily 1. But just know that we're using the exact same equation. So we did part A annually. Quarterly means 4 times per year you're getting your interest. So then if you look at n, it said number of times compounded per year. So here n equals 4. So I've got A equals, well, we know P is 2,000 plus 1, or times 1 plus R was 0.06, and this time N is 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. T was 3, but now I have to multiply by 4 again because it is NT. And then you just type that in your calculator. So I've got 2,000 times 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4 raised up to the 3 times 4 power. And I've got $2,391.24. And make sure you label your units. So it looks like you're just making a little bit more free money when you're compounded quarterly. Now, most interest rates aren't this high, but, that's would be really nice. And most of them are actually compounded monthly. I know mine is. So, monthly, ask yourself how many times per year if I get my interest every month. Well, there are 12 months, so that means 12 times per year. So n equals 12. And then we're going to use the exact same equation. So a equals 2,000, 1 plus, now I'm going to do 0.06 divided by 12, and then 3 times 12, because now my n value is 12. So I am going to just do second enter, and I'm going to change every 4 that I have to 12. If you use the second insert button, you can enter in the 2, or you could retype the whole thing, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to press enter. And this time I get 2,393 and 36 cents. And then daily, let's think about how many times per year that is. Well, there's 365 days per year, so you would get your interest compounded 365 times per year. So n equals 365. So try plugging that in your calculator, writing down the equation on your own. So hopefully you got $2,394.40. So let's think about this. You started with $2,000. You just put it in the bank account and you let it sit there for 3 years. You made $394 if you get it compounded daily. But again, most interest rates are like less than 1%. But if you could find one that's 6%, that'd be really cool. So you want $5,000 3 years from now from an account that pays 1.5 interest compounded weekly. How much should you start with initially? So that means you're looking for P and you want 5,000 at the end. So that's my initial value and my final value. And then I need to plug it into the rest of the equation. So I've got 1 plus because I'm gaining money. And then 0.015 is my interest rate. So divide by 100. And it's compounded weekly. So I'm going to divide by 12. And then I'm going to do 3 times. Whoa, not 12. Weekly. Let's talk about that. How many weeks are in the year? 52. So it's going to be compounded 52 times per year. Now, if you didn't know that, we could write it down. 52 weeks in a year. That's a good piece of information for you just to kind of know, just in case you don't. And then we need to solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out what this portion of my equation is equal to. So I'm going to go 1 plus 0.015 divided by 52 raised to the 3 times 52 power. And I got 1.046. And now if I need to get P by itself, all I need to do is divide both sides. So I'm going to do 5,000. And I don't like to round at all in my problem, so I'm going to go divided by second answer. So you go to the second and the minus sign. Just divide by the previous thing that you got in your calculator. And you got 4,780 and 2 cents. So that's what you need to put into your bank account to have $5,000 in 3 years at that interest rate. So again, do the assignment the best that you can, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. See you later.